Hi, I'm Dave with One Adventure at a Time. Today I want to talk about our Wave 6 heater and show you how we ventilate and how it works. It's going to kind of be a test run tonight. It's forecasted to be 3 degrees and a wind chill of -7 degrees. So perfect night to test it out and see what it does for the van. So come along with us. And first, let's start with the ventilation. Before the Wave heater, we had the little buddy heater and we had major condensation problems. The ceiling here of the cab is not insulated. And we didn't add any insulation to it. So we had bare metal pretty much above that. And the heat and the moisture was actually running down this channel and then out the sides of it here, so creating all kinds of problems. So one thing that we did to help prevent that is to add ventilation to the front cab. And what we did was we found this from Eurocampers.com, and it has a channel on it that fits right on the window. Super easy, and it's strong. It has a bug screen on the back, so no bugs are getting in. And we can actually leave it on in the rain. The rain just goes right over these channels. So we love it. It works perfect. We're going to put this in the window. We've got our sun visor in the front. It's Reflectix. It helps reflect some of the heat. Even though we have some air movement from window to window, this does reflect some of the heat back into the actual van. So we're getting ready. Let's get it done. Now that we got the front cab all set up, let's go ahead and set up the back windows. We took an old window visor and we cut it for our front window, but we cut it down to fit the back windows. And then we sewed all around the corners of it so it doesn't come apart. So you can see it kind of folds together, has two sides. This fits perfectly in the gap that's between the glass and the metal, but thinking about it, we might have done better if we just put it all the way against the metal and left a gap in between it, an air gap, and that air gap would help insulate. So if you're doing one of these, maybe think about using magnet strips or whatever to gap it on the outside of the window, but this has been working for us. With the Reflectix pointing in. And that does help. We've got the front and the back windows down, so now it's time to get the inside ready. And the two side windows, we've put window coverings on them, and they are 3 layers thick. So they're insulated pretty good. We've got them on both sides. And our front cab curtain, now it's forecasted to be really cold tonight, so not only do we have the front cab curtain, but we took our extra blanket and hung it up there. And what stands out is we've got this big gap over here in the corner. And that's for a reason, because on this passenger window in the front cab, we have that ventilation screen in there. So that's going to be our airflow. So we had to leave room for that air to come through and go all the way to the back fan and provide the adequate ventilation that we need. The Wave 6 heater is fairly large, and we didn't have a whole lot of options to put it. So this is where we put it, against the wall, and we mounted it on a TV style mount. If you have any questions about that, we'll link a video that we did when we mounted it. But this is a nice spot for it because the heat is not going to be on the counter and we don't have to worry about the medicine cabinet getting too hot. For blankets, starting off, we have a hot water bottle. So this is very comfortable, a lot better than a hot rock. And then we have a fleece blanket here, followed by a down comforter blanket and a military style wool blanket. We have our bedspread, and if all those blankets aren't enough, we have our backpacking sleeping bags, and these are rated down to 15 degrees. So we really have no excuses to get cold.
If that's not enough, we'll just run the heater.
That's not enough, we'll run the heater all night long. But right now, outside, it's 30 degrees and it's 61 degrees inside. So we'll keep you updated. We're going to check that before we go to bed and then also again in the morning. And we'll just see how cold it gets outside and how warm it stays inside. We live in a very small space, so we want to make sure we're safe. So we have a smoke detector up here, and down below we have our carbon monoxide detector. And we put it here because Rudel sleeps on the couch, and carbon monoxide is a little bit heavier than air and will sink. Now, dogs and cats are more sensitive to carbon monoxide than even humans are. And we hear about the horror stories about people getting poisoned by carbon monoxide every year. And it's pretty serious, so we want to be safe, and we hope you are too. Tonight it's going to be cold outside, so we decided we are going to run the heater on low all night. And to do that, Camco says in the manufacturing instructions that we have to properly ventilate. And they suggest, or they say, that we have to have our 14 by 14 inch fan open a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. And then at the other side of the vehicle, we also need a window open, an 8-inch window, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, to allow enough air circulation to safely run this heater while you sleep. Right now, it's 73 degrees in here and it's 15 degrees outside. We are going to leave it run on low, go to sleep, and we're going to recheck it in the morning just after sunrise, see what kind of outside to inside temperature we have. So we'll be back in the morning. Good morning. I slept pretty good. Last night it was -1 degrees outside, or at least this morning as the sun's coming up right now at 7 o'clock, and 52 degrees inside. So I'm pretty happy with that, not too bad. We wanted to share with you what we learned last night after running our heater through the first night. That's the first time we've ever ran the heater all night.
Yeah, so according to Camco, it says typically a closed bedroom does not provide sufficient volume of air for safe heater operation. So we went to the manual and we looked up what sufficient ventilation is. So that's the 14 by 14 fan in the back open, and on the window,
and then on the other end of your vehicle, you also need a window open. It has to be an 8-inch window. It has to be at least 1 1/4 inch, 1.5 inches open. And they wanted that window to be as low as possible.
I think it was a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really didn't think that it was going to stay very warm all night.
Yeah, so we didn't know. When you have to ventilate that volume of cold air in,
yeah.
I mean, it's -1 degree.
Yes, so the dog dish underneath the front window did freeze.
So if you're in the build stage of your vehicle, you definitely consider making a spot where you can keep your heater as low as possible.
Yeah.
We did not have that option because we put our heater in after the build. So we pretty much were stuck with one location.
Yeah, the floor wouldn't have been as cold if it was a little bit lower. Yeah.
And our plumbing, all of our plumbing did not freeze. So it was inside. We kept it warm enough that we didn't have any problems.
Yeah, so, I don't think we're gonna go any lower than -1, are we?
No, this is not something we're gonna do all the time. So having the heater not on the floor is not going to be a problem for us because this is a rare event.
Yeah, I'm really happy and surprised it did so well.
I am too. I'm shocked how well it did. I mean, I'd say when you got up out of bed in the morning, it was sweater weather, 52 degrees sweater weather. So not bad.
The floor was definitely slipper weather.
Yeah, definitely slippers, or at least socks on the floor. Although, you know, if we were going to be full-time in extreme cold weathers, we'd probably still go with maybe the Webasto heater.
Absolutely. I think if you're going to live in cold weather, I would definitely go with a heater that's vented outside, so you don't have to have all that extra ventilation and cold air coming in.
I definitely agree. External ventilated heater is the way to go if you're going to constantly be in extreme cold weather.
So we do not feel safe sleeping with this heater all night without any ventilation at all.
Oh, absolutely no way.
Absolutely would not do that.
No.
So I hope that this video helps you with your plan or your build or your heater decision.
And if you are going to run a heater in your van, make sure you read up on those manufacturer
directions.
because that's a chance you don't want to mess up. You don't
Yeah.
want to make a mistake on that.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I hope we helped.
Dave's got boiling water. Rudel, come here. Rudel.
Ready?
That does work. It froze.
Most of it did. If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron, or check out our new merchandise at oneadventureatatime.com. We also have stickers available in our website store. Thank you for watching.